Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to pop up a short clip just with some information surrounding peak week. I know a lot of people that I'm following at the moment are coming into the peak week of WBFS Sydney show coming up this following weekend. So most people are 7 days out at the moment and peak week's in full swing. So for those who don't know, peak week generally goes from 7 to 10 days out leading into the show, and it's when people implement sort of some certain protocols to set their body up to peak on time physically and obviously to look their best. So it's a bit of a controversial topic. Some people believe in it, some people don't. Especially with bikini and fitness athletes, a lot of people say that you don't need to do it. Personally, I've done both. I haven't done a peak week and I have done a peak week, and I feel like physically doing a peak week, I do look a lot better, a lot leaner and a lot fuller in the right spots, but it's obviously individual and how your body responds. Anyway, so I've written down just a few dot points that I just wanted to share with you guys. So my number one piece of advice is don't mess it up. Just listen to your coach. That is what you have a coach for. Don't change too much. So, you know, if you haven't been eating salmon during your prep, don't start eating salmon now. Or if you've taken gluten out, don't bring gluten back in. Just stick to the foods that you've been eating and just change the quantities depending on how your carbs and your proteins and your fats during that week. You know, the best thing for us, especially bikini girls, is to just try and keep your fluid and your sodium and everything consistent. It's so individualized in the certain protocols, but it's all dependent on your body and what your coach does. But my personal experience is, you know, don't make the changes so drastic that your body will just, you know, hold on to a lot of fluid or hold on to a lot of visceral fat or become really stressed. So just keep it basic. Tip number 2 is it's a rest and recovery week. So don't kill yourself in the gym. A lot of trainers and coaches will have their clients do their last leg session like the week before. So that way you've got rid of all the inflammation in your legs, all the swelling's gone down, you're not holding on to any fluid down there, and your legs are fully recovered, because especially if it's your first time on stage, holding poses on stage is really difficult. A lot of people get muscle cramps and things like that. So if you're already fatigued from training legs, you know, a few days prior, then it's going to be really difficult to hold in those front poses and side poses for the length of time that you're standing up there for. So just keep that in mind. Like you obviously still want to be training during the week, but you know, you don't need to be hitting your 1 rep max. You just don't. So that week is purely about recovery, rest, and fat loss. So you've got to weigh up that risk to benefit ratio, whether, you know, adding more weight to the bar or, you know, performing those few extra reps. Is it going to benefit me at all? Or is it just going to, you know, lead me more likely to injure myself or not recover effectively? Because you are already in a calorie deficit, so you're not recovering as well. Your sleep's probably compromised. Yeah. So you're just going to take into account all those things and just don't screw it up and just try and rest. My tip number 3 is avoid inflammatory foods. I personally don't eat gluten and dairy anyways, just because I don't respond. I'm definitely not intolerant, I wouldn't say, but I just feel a heap better without them. I do notice I bloat less, obviously, if I'm not eating gluten or lactose, and the majority of people are intolerant to one or the other anyways, they just don't really realize it. More specifically, I change my protein to an isolate instead of a concentrate, because isolates have like less than 1%, I think, lactose, and my body just responds better to that. Obviously the concentrate is more yummier because it's got milk solids in it, but yeah, just things like that. So I've learned to swap my protein to an isolate. Obviously not eat any gluten. I sort of reduce the grains as well, reduce the fibers. So you know, all your broccolis and things like that, I tend to swap them for spinach. But on that note, make sure you don't become constipated. So you've still got to hit your fibre, but just don't overdo it with all the greens. Oh, I cut out artificial sweeteners and chewy, because chewy makes me bloat and artificial sweeteners make me hungry. So I don't eat a lot of them anyway, but yeah, the ones that are in my diet in some supplements, except for protein, I try to eliminate. Stay off social media and just be a bit more mindful in yourself. And I say this because everyone's putting up, you know, hashtag peak week, and they're looking shredded and they're looking really good. And, you know, a bit of Oslo and saturation will make anyone look like a pro on Instagram. So just don't compare and contrast your physique to who you may potentially be competing against, because come show day it may be completely different. You know, they might have screwed up with their water, or who even cares what they look like? You know, it's not going to change the outcome. It's just going to derail you and flatten your confidence. So, you know, try and just be a bit more present in the moment and not compare yourself so much. It's easier said than done though. Consider your fibre intake and try and stay regular. So for me, you know, you've got your own regular routine of when you go to the toilet. During peak week, particularly since perhaps your carbohydrates are less, so your fiber's less, the bulk of the food is less, some people tend to become constipated. So supplementing with fiber if you need it. I do during peak week. Because I have minimal carbs during peak week like most people, and it's really easy to become constipated. And if you do, you just feel horrible, like your digestion impacts everything, and if you can't go, it's a horrible feeling and it can affect your training and everything. So have some fiber or some laxatives in the house if you need them. Don't get lactulose. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. We use it at work all the time and it just bloats you. I also just use Metamucil. So Metamucil for 1 to 2 servings a day if I need it. Keeps you regular and keeps you feeling okay. Have absolutely everything organized and write a list of what you need. So I'm talking have everything from be checked into your flights, have everything printed off, have your sheets on the bed washed, have your bag packed, have your bikini ready, have a list of everything that you need, like everything from the food, your salt and pepper, you know, everything you need on the stage, your makeup, your jewelry. Just start writing that list now so that when it gets to the end of the week and you are really carb depleted and foggy, you're not having to try and recall you know, what you might have forgotten. And then you'll go to the Gold Coast and, you know, you'll be like, oh, why did I forget, you know, just that eyeshadow, you know, whereas if you'd written that down that you really wanted that, it's probably not going to be eyeshadow. But, you know, if you write it down, if you write a list, you can physically look at that later in the week, or you can add to it during the week. I like to pack, you know, the week before, so I've just got at least something in the bag and I can add to it if I need to, or take out and say, actually, I don't need that. One of the pros actually said this one to me: clear your camera roll and take too many photos. And that is so accurate. Like, I've always said you only regret the photos that you don't take in terms of progress photos, and it's so true on comp day as well. You just want to take so many photos, even when you're exhausted, at rego night, or on the night show when you're just trying to focus, you will just want to get on there. Just take so many photos, because, you know, you've worked so hard to get to that point. You know, the last thing you want to do is go, oh, I wish I had some more content, or, you know, I wish we got a photo together. Even I'm regretting that now. So clear your camera roll, charge your camera, and take too many photos. Make sure you are practicing your posing every day during peak week. So you should already have your routine planned. You know, you're walking out and you're doing 3 poses, and then you're walking to the right side doing more poses. You should have that mapped out. You should have that envisioned in what you're doing. But just practice that. Just continuously practice it and envision it in your head. So when you're standing backstage and they read out your competitor number, you envision yourself walking to the front of that stage and hitting those 3 poses. And don't do a Sherelle Grant and stuff up your hair. If anyone was watching me, I'm never doing that again. Yeah, so just practice posing, you know, not for hours. You don't need to do it for hours, but just 10-15 minutes a night if you can, in your heels. Look at yourself in the mirror, assess your body. It's a good way to see how your body's responding to the peak week. You know, you're going to look flat, you're going to look shit, but, you know, keep that in mind. Book a photo shoot. So this is another one that a lot of people don't do. Like, you've spent months getting yourself into pristine condition. Like, you look amazing, and it's taken you so long and so much hard work and dedication and money to get to this stage. So book a photo shoot just so you can capture that moment. You know, working with a professional photographer is a great way to sharpen up your posing, as well as just getting those images to be like, look at what I achieved. I had like 2 or 3 photo shoots around my May show, but what I would recommend is I did a shoot the day before a show, and I have a dodgy lower back anyways, but getting into those positions really flared up my lower back. So going into that again, I would definitely do my photo shoots on the Thursday and have Friday as a complete rest day, or a posing day, and then compete on the Saturday, and then perhaps do one on the Sunday if you wanted to, because people underestimate how exhausting photo shoots are. Like, I did one after the other and I was absolutely spent at the end of it. So don't underestimate that, but do book a photo shoot. And if you are looking for any recommendations, just DM me, because I know heaps of people that shoot for the WEFF, and I can definitely recommend a few really good photographers. Anxiety and nerves. So I was so nervous before I walked out on that stage. I was so nervous. I'm smiling at it now because I can remember how nervous I was. I was standing backstage and my number was 305. And I remember that because I'm obsessed with Pitbull, you know, Mr. 305, that guy. So, you know, when they say, you know, they're calling out your number and they're saying, Sherelle Grant, ladies and gentlemen, and they, oh, and you just walk out, and you've got about like 20 seconds as soon as you walk out to stand there while the other competitor at the front does their 3 poses. So make sure you've got a few poses and a bit of time there. But you know, you're walking out, and I just kept my head down backstage, and I was just envisioning myself walking out, hitting those 3 poses. I knew what I was going to do. You know, your facial expressions, you've really got to put that on as well. So you just got to go inside yourself. It sounds a bit stupid, but you just got to really go inside yourself, focus and envision it, and just do it. And the judges are really forgiving when it comes to that as well. Like, they understand that you're nervous. They know that you've got a little bit of anxiety. I mean, a lot of you guys are first timers as well, and they know that. They're not expecting you to be pros. You are amateurs, and they know that. So everyone said it to me, just try and have fun. And it's so easy just to say, and now I'm trying to say it to you. But yeah, just try and have fun. I know it sounds stupid, but you know, just laugh about it. Just go backstage. Don't get yourself worked up. I took my headphones, so I listened to a bit of Eminem, and I listened to a mindfulness track as well, and I just tried to calm myself down, because even though I'm not a shy person, you know, it is intimidating walking out onto a stage and posing in a tiny piece of material for hundreds of people and cameras. So you've just got to be really confident in that you have put in 100%. Like, I knew backstage that, you know, not many people have worked as hard as you have, Sherelle. That's what I said. Like, I've worked so hard for this, and you deserve it. So you've got nothing to be anxious about. Just go out and own it. And that's what you've got to tell yourself. You've just got to really give yourself a pep talk and just try and work yourself up and just be like, kill it. And you will. And my last point is just to network and connect with other people. So this is almost as important as the show day. I mean, I only came second. I didn't get my pro card or anything like that. I didn't win, I came second. And some of the opportunities that I've been given from coming second have been amazing, and it's purely because of the networking that I did, the people that I met, and the personality that I put on stage and sort of expressed to other people, like the person you are. So don't be timid in that. So at registration night, go out of your comfort zone, go and talk to new people. I mean, if there was people on Instagram that I'd been following and I knew that they were competing, I'd look for them. I'd be like, hi, I follow you on Instagram. Oh my God, it's good to see you. Look amazing, blah, blah, blah. You know, or going up and talking to some of the pros and being like, you know, what have you been up to? When's your next show? Like, especially if you want to make a name for yourself in the fitness industry, or if you're looking at building a brand, a personal brand or a business or anything like that, this is really important, getting content and networking with people. So, you know, the days leading into the show and even the days after the show, you know, connect with people. And I guess, like, just a final note is to just really enjoy peak week. It's so hard to do and to think, how can you enjoy peak week? You know, I've got this one horrible leg day left and then I'm, you know, carb depleting for 7 days in a row. But, you know, it'll be all over in 7 days. It'll be all over in a week. And you'll be like, that's it. Some of you will feel really lost. And that's okay. It's a whole nother conversation in itself. But yeah, just really enjoy the peak week. Embrace the changes that your body's going through and just have fun on stage. You've earned it. Good luck to all the competitors. You all look amazing for all the people that I'm following. You've all worked so hard and I love watching everyone's journey on Instagram. Yeah, so good luck, guys.